Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Infamous Idiots podcast. I'm Richard. This is Marco.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you guys are new here, remember to like, comment, subscribe.
All right. This has been bugging me all week, and I don't think you're gonna like this, but this has been an intrusive thought that has been in my brain throughout this entire week. I saw this on Twitter, so it isn't very original. But Tarzan's first wet dream didn't involve a human. Oh. That has been bothering me all week.
Okay, but what do you think it was then?
I think you know what it was. He was clapping gorilla cheeks.
Yeah. I was thinking like an orangutan.
And that's how
Aren't the orangutans like the one with the big ass arms? They're like...
Yeah,
right?
It's the Maurice ones. You know, the orange one?
Doing over there has a banana in the
I
other.
bet that ape gave a vicious hand job. That's crazy.
Probably just tear it off. I mean, don't they do that in real life though?
Tear off penises?
Like, I think they do, like when they're like dominance or something. Maybe I'm thinking of...
What a crazy way to assert your dominance. Rip another man's dick off.
He's just...
Do you think that's just what we need to do as men? I mean, how would you assert your dominance
people do it on their own anyways.
How would you assert your dominance on a man? Let's say, all right, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you had a club with your girl, right?
Okay.
Let's say, you went to go get her a drink and you see some dude come up behind her, kind of like, grab her back like that. Mm-hmm. How do you assert your dominance?
Okay, hold on. In that situation, though, I'm actually not going to do anything. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to see how my girl responds.
Ooh.
I'm going to read
That's
her
some
body
next
language.
level shit. You need it.
I'm going to see her body language. I'm going to see how she reacts to it. If she's not wanting to, like, be like, push him off and be like, no, I'm taken, I got a man. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? But now there's a different circumstance if he comes up, slaps her ass.
Okay.
That's a totally different...
What if it was ass slap?
I'm running up on him and be like, hey, bro, you got to be more fucking respectful for that. I'm giving him a shove. For sure giving him a shove. Because I'm already going to try to create that distance right there. Because I'm like, you never know with people in this day and age. So I got to have that left hand or that right hand ready to go. Just ready, cocked, and get distance. Be like, hey, you gotta fucking show women in general respect. You can't just be doing that. I understand you're in a club and shit, but you can't be doing that. Like the fuck?
Yeah.
You gotta have some kind of morals here. I don't care how much alcohol you have or fucking snorting shit.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I thought that was my girl.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, bro, get the fuck out of here.
He's just like, the Y in your girl is silent, my guy.
Yeah, but I mean, how would you handle that situation? I feel like my explanation was pretty reasonable.
No, it was absolutely. I think that's how anyone should really look about it, because you're like, you want to see what her body language is, because if she doesn't push him off, then that's not a female you want to mess with.
It's a red flag, bro.
It's
the biggest red flag.
That gives an ick.
That's a major.
That's a major ick.
Because you gotta reciprocate what they're also putting down. Because let's be honest, almost all females are like, no, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. You can't go around and do the things that you don't want him to do.
Babe, I don't love her. I love you.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding, y'all. But dude, I feel like I like to think I'd approach it in the same way that you would.
Yeah. I feel like I'm setting it. I'm not also it just instantly turning into a brawl. You know what I mean? I'm creating distance.
Why not?
I'm giving him a shove. I'm keeping my distance to make sure I'm safe. You know what I mean? I'm just laying down what I think is very proper. Now, also, if this is in like a club setting, it's gonna be loud, so it's might not be able to hear what I want him to hear.
Yeah.
Which would be that's why I'd be like.
That's why you got the physical confrontation to be like.
Great
for sure.
So yeah.
I honestly would not have. I was gonna come up with a completely comedic take on it, but that was a very insightful.
I guess I took it really seriously.
Yeah. It's a very insightful way to do it. No, dude, 100%. I'm sure that goes through your head.
Oh, it goes
especially
through my head all
like
the time.
If you're with your girl, or even if you're with someone you're messing around with, you always kind of picture that scenario in your head.
Well,
what if I have to fight for us or your honor? Or something?
You also want to think about it from her perspective. She wants to feel safe around you. You know what I mean? Like, I've already thought of plenty of scenarios on like what my opening attacks are gonna be. Like I'm definitely leading with like a double jab right into the meanest calf kick ever. I'm gonna fucking he knows it.
Yeah.
He knows he's had his legs swept. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking lay it on him. They're already gonna know. They're gonna be like, oh, this dude. He's different.
If they check the leg kick,
see that I was gonna say. If they check it, you're gonna know who you're dealing with, so you're getting information as well.
Yeah. If they check that leg kick, it's gonna be a long night for the both of you.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a war.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a fucking war.
You're like, oh.
Yeah. You're just gonna have.
And if he has cauliflower ear, rethink it. Mm-hmm. Especially if you don't have a good wrestling base.
Yeah. I mean, if you have jiu-jitsu,
fucking pull guard. Submit his ass. Do that gay shit, you know.
Yeah. Sure.
This is just talking to someone that gets choked out constantly, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You get choked out constantly? Wait, how often do you do jiu-jitsu?
On my free time.
Wait, hold on. Free time?
What?
I was like, wait, I thought you were talking about training here.
I thought...
He's like, no, just...
that's what I was talking about.
Oh, right.
Anyways. We all like to be choked around here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're into, you know what I mean?
Yeah, why are you kink shaming me?
I was just shocked. I'm like, I kind of just want to be known about this. I have to find out on the pod. I feel a little like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Do you know? God damn it! I knew the word for what a clown fetish was. A clown kink.
What is it?
I forgot what it was.
Oh, you don't even know it.
I don't, but I used
something
to know
I could
it.
never be into. I that's something I cannot.
That is
wrap
the
my
way
head around.
I got over my fear of clowns. Instead of fuck clowns, I literally, fuck clown. That's how you do it. Therapy doesn't work.
I mean, what was it in like 20? It was like 2016 when that whole clown pandemic was
my god!
Crazy.
Yeah,
bro, I literally bought a bat for both of my cars.
I was like, this shit was real. This is happening.
Because dude, remember me and one of my other friends at the time, we saw one, bro. We saw one. We were out in the fucking park, and it was like often like we were like we were chiefing it up, and we hear the rumbling in the bushes, and all we see is like the
fucking. There?
You weren't there. I don't. If you don't remember this, then I guess you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was. But we see the hair.
He doesn't invite me
we
places.
see the nose, and we see the yellow shirt, and he's like just walking through because it's like.
Bro, you
know where we used to smoke over by our friend's house and the trail that goes up.
Oh,
yes.
There?
Yes.
You're joking.
I'm not joking because it was over.
No, that was a demon. That wasn't someone in a clown.
But I'm saying is it was during
Pennywise?
that time. It was during that time. It was some creepy ass shit. It was really creepy. Because like, dude, here's the thing: is if you run into a clown in the fucking forest,
fight it.
What are they doing there other than
hiding a body?
Exactly. They're on some creepy ass shit. You know what I mean? That's some shit you don't want to.
Not I.
Exactly.
Nope. I'm surviving this horror movie.
And we did survive, clearly.
The other one didn't, though. He died, actually. He's not here anymore. He's in hell. Hey, that's where we're all going. It's okay.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't even know what exists out there.
Does anyone really?
No
like,
one does.
I think the cases of people that have died for those brief moments and it came back to life. Have you ever heard about their experiences?
Oh, they're new.
That is crazy. That feels like an insane trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like they took some shrooms or something and they're like, yeah. Because some of the way they explained, that's how my bad trip ended.
Really?
It felt like I literally thought I died because there was like nothingness, and then I just woke up the next morning. And that whole story is on a different pod, and we'll link that up. But yeah, it's just it's crazy, man. Part of me would imagine if you could have the answers. If someone was like, "Look, you just have to die for a little bit."
But would you want the? Would you want?
Would you want the answer?
I would. What are the answers though?
Yeah.
Right. If it's let's just say for this instance, if it's heaven or hell, and you get to see and you see it's hell, do you really want to know?
Maybe it'll lead me to lead my life better if I'm going to hell.
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point to put.
If I'm going to heaven,
yeah, that's actually a good point.
If I'm in heaven,
what you're hearing.
Yeah, if I'm going to heaven, then I know that I'm on the right path.
You're not going to heaven. He's not going to heaven.
You don't know that. Every demon was a fallen angel once.
We're going there, huh?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch The Good Place?
No.
Oh,
I didn't really get into it. I heard it was good.
the first 2 seasons were really good.
I heard it was
Then
something like that.
It was like first 2 seasons good, then the last season was good. It was the in between that wasn't as good.
See, finding a new comedy that I can enjoy is really hard for me because I stick to the comedies that
I just thought it was a really interesting take on, the afterlife. In a way that I hadn't, previously thought of it in that way.
But doesn't it turn out to be hell?
Yeah, it turned out to be hell. They thought they were in the good place. It ended up being hell. But they thought that they took over, or when they got there, they were not the people. You know what I mean? Like the people that were supposed to be there. Like let's say it was Marco. Like Marco's supposed to go there, but I ended up going there. They think I'm Marco, but I was supposed to go to hell, and I'm supposed to live there and be like, basically being concentrated. Oh my god, they're gonna find out. Now I'm actually gonna go to hell. I need to stay in heaven, and it's like that constant anxiety is what they're like. The demons are like.
I might give it a watch, but there's a lot of things that are on my backlog. I actually want to get to Gen V.
Thank you. It's so good, bro. There's a character. I know I touched on the previous part, but there's a character in there. The roommate. I think she's literally younger you, like how you were. Like he's like, so I have this and this and this. What are you down for today? And I was like, none of them. He's like, all for myself. Okay.
You're like, dude, it's literally 9 a.m.
Yeah. I'm like, we just partied last night.
Yeah.
Bro, I just woke up on your floor. This is how we're starting in the morning. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I think back on when I was younger. I was like, Jesus. I'm not proud of it, but I feel like that's a stage most people should go through, and I feel like I went through it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had my own stage of that, but it was.
Did you ever wake up and drink?
Wake up to drink?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because most times we drink it all. Remember when we used to drink at the spot and we used to chuck the bottle into the fucking...
Maybe don't say that on the
Yeah, I was going to say... But,
maybe don't snitch us out.
But, yeah,
nothing happened. Yeah. Nothing was thrown into anywhere. And no underage drinking was had. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't incriminate us, asshole. I'm just saying.
I don't think you can incriminate for breaking a glass.
Yeah, it might be too late now. Yeah. It is whatever. This was a couple years ago.
This was not a couple years ago. This was like 8 years ago now.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Dude, every time I talk to him about like, like, bro, like 2019 was like 5 years ago. He's like, ah!
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just like, don't say that.
I see his head spinning. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Motherfucker, you just sent me down a rabbit hole. I'm like, ugh.
A rabbit hole, huh? You have nightmares about it? You have dreams?
Dude, I've been having some crazy vivid dreams lately. I don't know about you.
I actually have. So for me, we both work nights. I recently had been struggling to kind of fall asleep, and so I bought this blackout what is it called?
Mask?
Sleeping mask. It's completely blacked out.
It's nice.
I've been having the best sleep that I've had in like months, honestly.
Don't you feel like a little bougie ass bitch?
Yeah,
when
you do. You just like put it
you're
on.
Like no. When you're looking for it, you're like, where is it? Where is it? And then you put it on, and you're just like,
yeah. And the air conditioning's going. It's hot as fuck outside. And
you're not getting out of that fucking sunlight.
I'm like, I don't even have to deal with the heat. I work at night, bro. But anyway, so I started doing that, and I started having more dreams. The first one, the really quick one, is I had a dream about essentially what I felt like was our future. Like, it was like a glimpse into this room, how it is now, but it was like completely altered and shifted. It was very cool, and like the way the perspective of where I was seeing it was like right there where those comic books are. Mm-hmm. We were right there, and we were looking down, and we were like doing a live podcast or live stream of like whatever UFC event or whatever was going on. We had like a mounted TV right here, and we also had like an external camera so they could kind of see. So it'd be like, kind of, like on broadcast with a flow.
Yeah.
It was just really cool, and this dude actually had facial hair, and it really felt like a glimpse.
Did you say I had a little more tattoos?
Yeah, you had a sleeve. I don't remember which arm. I'm assuming it's the one where you already started to have tattoos, but
that sounds about right.
It was very quick because then like. This dream just like turned into something else that I don't remember. But I remember that.
Firmly believe that dreams can be a glimpses to an actual future. I fucking believe that to an extent. I have no proof, but it feels that way. When you have a dream and you see it in real life, and you're just like,
deja vu.
What the? Why? Sometimes
so like Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love that concept in Multiverse of Madness where she dreams and it's literally just her in an alternate timeline or alternate universe living her life. So the very concept that we're having these dreams and it could be us in a different like reality or timeline or whatever is actually insane and scary.
Yeah.
Because
I've had some wild dreams.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And if that's like an alternate universe, man, whatever other me is going through,
he's going through it.
He's going through it.
He's going through it. He makes me realize I got it. First of all, I know there are times or sometimes in life you might feel a little ungrateful for what you have.
Yeah.
Nothing will make you feel grateful for what you have and waking up from a crazy ass dream where you literally feel like you've lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I've had very vivid dreams of me I'm in the butt fuck of nowhere. Like I'm Jack reaching it without being Jack reaching. You know, just going different states, just walking by myself in some endless fucking pit, like just lonely and just shit. I was like, that's depressing. I don't want to go through that.
That's your dream?
Those are have been.
So what's your most recent dream that you've had then? or actually, how often, like, is it a struggle for you to remember your dreams?
Yeah, for the most part it is.
Okay. I know it's a struggle for most people.
Well, it's also for like pot smokers.
Yeah.
For sure. But the most recent one I remember, kind of deep. Not really though, but like I ran into someone from my past who I like looked up to a lot at one point, and we didn't end real life. We didn't end on the right page, but like in this dream, it's like the exact continuation of that. But it got like it's basically worst case scenario I dreamt. Where it was like a physical altercation, and it got really out of hand. And then I woke up and I was like, that felt so real. But it was also like, man, I really don't want that to happen. You know, I don't want to have to go through this and stuff.
Yeah, the dream that's I've felt the most real to me. Well, this was like at least it was like the beginning of the pandemic, so it was like a lot of like being inside. I remember having this dream of being like tied up in like a basement type area.
Ooh, there was like two kinky. I like it.
There was like two people and they were like going and I had like a rag or something over my face.
Tell me more.
This dude is he's just riled up from the boys.
I'm rock hard right now.
He wishes he was Huey.
I wish I was Homelander. Anyway.
But anyways, yeah. So like the TV's going and they're like walking back and forth talking and I don't even know some language. They're like communists or something, and like they.
What is a communist language?
It's Russian. But anyways, they pulled the fucking hat off of me or whatever, and they put a gun to my head, and I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, like it's like in the dream I couldn't fully talk, or it wasn't even like real words, and then they pull the trigger. And I literally felt like I was like I hit the ground and like in the dream it was just black.
You died?
I died, but I was still in the dream.
It's so crazy when you die in your dreams. Yeah.
It wasn't like I woke up and I was still there and I hear the people talking. But this time I hear them actually talking. Like, how do we get rid of this? What are we gonna do with this? And I was there just. And like the dream went on for what felt like forever. And I was like, when I finally woke up, I was like, oh my God, please tell me that's not what like death actually is. Yeah. Where you just die and now you're just consciously in your own head. Like you can hear everything, but you're no longer here. You know what I mean? So like you literally are aware you're getting buried. You're aware that, you know, you're getting grieved and everything. And now you're aware that you're spending the rest of your time and days in the dirt. That's what the dream was like, and it fucking freaked me out, bro.
Dreams when you die are always crazy. I was also looking up what it could mean, because I know they have a lot of meanings. Like, if your have you ever had the teeth falling out of your mouth dream? That's happened to me, dude.
Really?
It's very scary, actually.
So what is that supposed to mean then?
It means like you can be insecure about yourself.
Oh, okay.
Some shit like that, if I remember correctly. But this one, it goes into a couple. So it's like it also says dreaming about dying simply means that you are a warrior, like you're not getting enough rest. But also, it's going through a transitionary time when it comes to your self identity.
Well, during that time, I was going through a lot of personal shit.
Yeah, and then it says dreaming about yourself dying could also mean that you're in a major life transition.
I was
So that's all spot on for everything.
I was
that
experiencing
you went
a lot
through.
of death in real life and fucking in my dreams. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I mean, I've gone through it, and I haven't had a dream like that in a long time. And speaking of my last dream was fucking crazy. So I had a dream that I was like going to a temple, and I went to the temple and I grabbed this object.
Ooh, kinky.
And what? Everything's a fucking kinky.
I'm sorry.
I grabbed this
I'm
object.
bricked up right now. I blame you.
I grab this object and I start to leave, and then Indiana Jones. Like in dreams when you just like appear in a new place.
Yeah,
like you just
transition into.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just there, and now I'm like, oh my god, Nicolas Cage is tracking me down. I was like, oh my god,
that's actually terrifying.
I was like, but hold on, it's not like it's like the. I want to see Long Legs, but it's that type of Nicolas Cage. Like he's like a murderer, and he's like just wild and crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta return this thing.
Yeah, like murder me, daddy. Yeah.
And I have like a buddy with me, but he's a zombie. I don't know who the fuck.
Where am I?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why isn't this Marco? But it's like literally like a zombie. That's my buddy. And he's like, well, we gotta return it. So I go back to the temple, and I go back, and now everything's like shifting and moving like gears. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, he's like, you're gonna have to crawl through there. And I start to crawl, and I die because it like goes. But then because of the object that I had, it just like in the dream, I'm like rewind. He's like, let's not go that way. And we walk around like the part where there's like a river, and we see like this big ass Sprinter van and like in my dream I zoom in to see him, and it's like a zoom in of like Nicolas Cage. He's like driving like a madman, and he fucking flips the car.
Are you like scared shitless at this point?
Yes, I'm scared shitless. I'm like, what is this fucking dream? Because this is the very end of my dream. Whenever I start to realize I'm in a dream, it like starts kind of like falling apart. Yeah, I guess. But like in the dream, the Sprinter van flips and like crashes, but it's like a jello-y type thing, so it doesn't take any damage. And the whole way it gets to me, he's like just flipping it. It's so bizarre and weird. And then he comes out of it and like fast forward. It was creepy.
That's scary. Actually,
exactly. It was creepy. He's like. He's like right in front of me, and he's like, "You need to put it back."
That's like an edit, like one of those edits where they're just like The Ring, where she's crawling out of the TV, and I don't know where she's just like, right
just like in your face, yeah.
Like,
and then
please.
That was like the end of my dream.
Dude, have you ever? I have two questions for you. Like, have you ever dreamt, like, you know, when you try to throw a punch in a dream and it doesn't feel like you're throwing anything?
I have had that.
But have you ever had it where it does feel real?
No, I've never had it.
So that's the one that just happened to me, where I was just telling you, where it was like someone from my past, and like they said something to me that got under my skin, and people were holding me back, and then I just started punching through the entire crowd to get to him, and those punches felt real. I woke up, I was just like, that was like the first time that I've ever experienced that. So I was just curious if maybe you experienced that.
No, I've almost always felt like powerless in a way.
You're like
it's almost
gust of wind.
It's like almost like you're like in a character in like a, I don't even know, you know, like in like Call of Duty or something, like a first person game,
and you can't use your hands like that.
You lose your weapon.
Yeah,
you know, like you got in a car crash, you lose your.
That's what it's always such a good way to explain it.
That's
honestly.
what it's always. That's what my dreams have always felt like that. And when I go like third person, I never really see myself in third person either. It just sees like the surrounding area.
It's occasionally I do. The one that I remember the most is actually fucking sad again too. Have you ever it's just the end of the dream. Has that ever happened to you?
The end of the dream?
Yeah, no, but like you just remember the end. You don't know how you got there, but I just remember something akin to like the city destroyed. Me standing there in the ruins with the group of survivors. Like, I guess I saved them or something. But then like I had to leave. And I walked away from the ruins, and like from like an old life or something. Yeah, like it was just time for me to go. And I thought that was really symbolic at the time, but I was just like, this is fucking sad, you know? Like I just like it's that ending from 8 Mile, you know?
I was gonna say it sounds like an ending from like Resident Evil.
Absolutely, you know, like, but it was. I was like, what the fuck? Like it's just you're in the middle of just a ruined landscape. And then they're like, "Oh, thank you." You're like, "For fucking what? For what? This is terrifying." You know. And then, yeah, dude, that's just one dream I remember.
It's like that nightmare scene in fucking in the Justice League.
Yeah, it's honestly, that's the best way to describe it. It felt like the nightmare fucking world, honestly. Okay. Well, have you ever lucid dreamt? control
I don't
your
think.
own dreams.
See, that's
It's
what I was.
great.
See, that's what I was saying though. Is every time I start to become aware I'm in a dream, it starts falling apart. Like I wake up almost immediately. I've never had a moment ever where I've been in full control of a dream.
Dude, actually, that now that I'm really like explaining it, that last dream, I think that might have this dream I explained to you where I'm like punching through a crowd.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that, and I actually felt in control, but it was for a brief moment.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, damn, dude, is that like, did I lucid dream again and just kind of just not realizing
Well, I've
it?
heard some creepy ass things about lucid dreaming. Like to get in the state to like properly do it, like you have to like lay still for a long time. You have to do like these breathing exercises, and then there's a
so I'm basically Doctor Strange.
But like there's like a point where
no, I get it.
You know this part, right? And like there's like, and at some point when you know you're about to go into it, there's like a shadow will appear in like your peripheral, and you're like paralyzed where you are. You have to like get yourself up. I don't know if that's like how all lucid dreams, but I just remember that this is like one that stood out to me that someone was talking about, and I was like, I think I'm good.
That's scary.
Yeah, that's what I was
but
like.
I still think
good.
it's worth to try it. Cause, dude, lucid dreaming is very insane. The first time I did it, it actually feels made up when I tell it. But like, I was legitimately flying. I had fucking Mjolnir. I had Thor's hammer, and that shit was helping me fly. I couldn't get a hang of it though, cause I kept falling. And then first of all, again, I've never seen Attack on Titan.
Okay,
But the Titans were there, like being fucking horrendous beings, like actually eating people. Yeah, and everyone was hiding.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying. Honestly, I think that's what made me not want to watch it too, because they're designed themselves, but also the fact
they're creepy looking.
Dude. And imagine them in an urban setting.
Yeah.
It was terrifying, dude. So yeah, that's for some odd reason they were in my dream, and then I was able to fly for a bit, and then I was able to hit one of them, and then that's all. That's all I remember. I just remember being like, this is fucking crazy.
So are you actively going to try to lucid dream now?
Now, I kind of want to try it.
Really?
I kind of want to, like, get in my Doctor Strange mode and just kind of, like, open my third eye. Yeah.
Is that what, like, the whole... I don't know that much about lucid dreaming, but I wonder if that's, like, their whole mentality. Because I know it's, like, they're expanding, like, their...
consciousness, I
guess,
something to an extent, something like that. Yeah,
because like from what I know, at least from what I've seen, and this was like years ago, because once I first found out, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. But I remember him talking about being like, this is something to like extend like myself being aware, I guess, because like when you sleep, you at least sleep for 8 to something hours, about 8 hours, right? That's 8 hours of your day essentially gone. Like you have to lay in bed. And his whole thing was like, when you lucid dream, that's no longer time wasted. You're able to do what you want to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the process to getting to lucid dream just sounds so terrifying to me.
I can't say anything because I don't think I've done it, but the more you explain that, the more I'm like, it makes one weary for sure. But it's also like, what's the harm in trying? Worst case scenario, you get dragged to help us some shadow demons.
Actually, no. The worst thing that can happen is
you lose your sanity.
No.
It's lost.
What is it called? You essentially get paralyzed. Possessed? You essentially become paralyzed. Or like what starts to develop. I'm gonna fucking butcher the hell out of this. I apologize. But there's like a point where you start to wake up.
Okay.
Like your consciousness starts to wake up. Like your eyes are closed. You wake up, but your body is no longer awake. And you can't get yourself to wake up either.
It's like that episode from SpongeBob.
What episode?
Remember the episode where he'd go into other people's dreams?
Yeah. Well, kind of.
I feel like I meant that's lucid dreaming, but the other bit, yeah, that's a whole other horror movie.
That's something that can develop from lucid dreaming, to my knowledge, at least, from what this guy...
So this just sounds like an insane sleep paralysis.
That's what it's called.
Yeah,
it's sleep
paralysis.
And that's what can be developed from lucid dreaming.
Sleep paralysis is terrifying. Have you had it?
I've never had sleep paralysis.
Okay, but like I don't know if it was my first. I don't know if it was a supernatural experience because the way that was explained to me was that it's basically just me being asleep. Like it was so insane. Sleep paralysis is just kind of like you're paralyzed. It's exactly that. Like the way they described it, I was like, yeah, that's probably what happened. Because I thought it was a ghost at first. I couldn't move. Move. I was laying in my bed, and like someone was like, and keep in mind, like this was one of the few times like I had my door locked, and dude, no one was in there.
Yeah.
And I felt a presence, and I'm just like, and it comes up. But the thing that always freaks me out that I don't know if sleep paralysis can explain is that like they're rubbing. I'm getting my hair rubbed, like, and I'm hearing shh.
Oh my god, you're giving me chills.
I'm not even joking.
But dude,
and
that's
Richard,
what I was telling you.
I tried to like I'm literally through my body going like trying to get up, but I can't. It's like something is holding me down as that's happening. I don't remember how. I don't know how long it took, but I remember when I'm finally able to like get up, I fucking unlocked the door and I slept with my mom. I'm not even joking. I was like, I'm sleeping on the floor. I can't. No, I can't do this. Yeah, dude, that's. Oh, man.
Well, that's what I was telling you is that, like, I know when you start to lucid dream, you can see peripheral, like a dark being there. And I don't know what that fucking means.
See,
but that's what makes, that's why when you said that, I'm like, oh my god, that's what that was then.
Yeah. It's terrifying. Yeah, man.
See, I'm not going to do it. I'm not even going to try to
do it for the pod.
I'm not even going to
do it for the pod.
I don't even think I could get myself to do that because I really do struggle to sleep. Like it can be a hard time for me to get to sleep. Now this mask that I did get, like I said, is blackout, and it's helped out so much. But even then, I still can lay there for an hour, 2 hours sometimes, and just not fall asleep.
Yep.
It sucks. It actually really does suck.
You try everything to go to sleep?
Well, I try not to take like melatonin or anything like that. But yeah.
You
do the deed.
You choke the chicken to go to sleep?
You know, sometimes it just takes too much of a beating to where I'm like, I gotta give it a break.
Jesus Christ. And that's what it's like, and that's what it's like being in a relationship. You use your hand most of the time.
Action all the time.
You use your hand most of the time.
He just over here is sitting down here with the dry ass pussy. He can't deal with it. You know what I mean?
First of all, sir, it's a WAP. Oh God. No, but dude, that is actually that whole sleep paralysis thing. Like, what if, in some weird way, again, going back to like a little conspiracy theory type thing, what if that is us being able to go to a different reality, and that is actually something that
now, see, we cannot perceive? Makes sense
because Richard, I can't explain someone rubbing my hair and saying shh. That's the only thing that gets me. That's the only thing. I mean, maybe there are cases where that happins, but man, that felt so terrifying.
So if you think it was
so
another
real.
Universe, then do you think it was like maybe just
not another universe? Okay. Well, there was something to it because I was scared that I couldn't move and that was happening. But it's almost as if that shh and the rubbing of my hair was trying to calm me down.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to feel about that. It was still scary, but yet oddly, in a way, it felt like they were trying to make me feel secure. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just sleep paralysis is something that once you go through once, you never forget it. I will always remember that. I will always remember that night, dude.
Have to deal with that.
Yeah.
I really don't. That sounds fucking terrifying. I mean, I don't even really. I just started really recently. Just started dreaming, and that was because I was able to with the mask. I think it's solely because of the mask.
Wow.
Because other than that, I really don't dream.
Would you though? What if? Okay, but like if
honestly,
you could, because the times I lucid
how many
dreamt.
times how often do you actually dream though?
I feel like often, but I don't remember them.
I don't dream like at all.
That's actually very dangerous.
Really?
Yeah, that means that neurologically, your wires in some way are like imbalanced. Because most of the time, I'm just fucking with you.
I was like, don't fucking terrify me.
Well, you're like, oh my god, am I dying?
Like, I'm gonna fucking, what's that? Mega Mind. I'm like, fuck.
You do have a big head.
I do. But like I said, I recently just started dreaming, so.
It's also mainly when you get deep sleep. When you're able to go in deep realm sleep is when you're able to dream. So maybe it's been very hard for you because I know it has been for me too. Working nights, it's hard to get in that deep realm sleep.
Fucking struggle, dude.
And
when I go to sleep is when my significant other is getting up to go to work. So I'm hearing her, do everything, do her hair.
And a part of you is like, can you be quiet?
Yes. And I'm like, she's gonna leave soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave soon, and then I go to sleep.
And you just can't. All of a sudden, you just can't wait for them to leave.
And then what really makes me mad is if I have a cat in the room with me or something, and I'm actually gonna fall asleep, and then he jumps because I have blackout curtains. He jumps up on where the window, and piercing fucking light comes in. I'm like,
God. You feel like a vampire.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, I was just about to fall asleep. That's my experience fucking trying to sleep while working nights. It fucking sucks, dude.
It is. You get, yeah, man. Although I do like nighttime. If I could have my nights to just myself and not have response. If I can get paid to just be up at night and not do nothing, that'd be great.
Well, yeah.
That'd be great. That's all I want. Just let me be.
I'm fully in agreement with that.
Let me just brood at night and just be on the internet and do my thing.
So if you had just let's just say hypotheticals here then. If you just had a steady income from something like that, I don't know, just something.
Yeah.
You would still choose to be awake during the night?
Maybe to an extent, not as bad as I'm forced to now actually having work nights, but I think to an extent for sure. Probably on days where I'm
I feel
free,
like I'd be I feel like I'd be the type to sleep in. I'm not starting my day until 11 and 12. And then I'll kind of be up more to later into the night, but I'm not going to stay all the way. I'm like, oh, it's sunrise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay up until 2 or 3 and then go to bed and then wake up at 12 tomorrow. I feel like if I had my way, I feel like that's what my ideal day would be.
I mean, that's not bad at all either. It just depends. I got a lot of things to do too in the morning, so that's why I'm I usually have to stay up at night anyway to kind of make sure everything.
What's the longest you've ever stayed up?
24 hours, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was grueling, but I did it. I don't know how. What about you?
I think it was 27 hours I stayed up. It fucking, no. I'm telling you, it
actually
sucks.
sounds awful.
It's terrible. It's not
was
fun
this
at
night
all.
shift, after a night shift?
It was, I want to say, it was when I was first starting to work nights. Because my schedule was already fucked. Because I had previously worked at construction, so I was waking up super early, and my body just naturally woke up really early. The day before I was supposed to start my next night shift, it got to a point where I was I can't go back to bed now. I have to stay up, and it fucking sucked so bad, and I had to stay up for like I said, it was around. It might have been a little less, but it was a long ass fucking time. Once you get to the 19-hour mark. Dude, it is so grueling and tiring, and then that lasts from the hour 22 on. Dude, you just feel like you could just lay down on a table and you'd fall asleep.
Pass out.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know how you did it, especially if you had to drive home, dude.
It's always dangerous. It's actually terrifying.
It's terrifying.
But it was more during when it was kind of cold outside, so I just rolled down the windows and was I just gotta get it there, and I can go to bed.
And if you're tired, this is when comes in handy. Sponsored by. No, I'm just kidding. I wish that'd be nice. Honestly,
that shit is fucking straight PTSD, bro.
Oh, dude, seriously. Another thing I wanted to talk about today. I don't think you watched it, but I'm gonna explain it to you still because I think it's awesome. The Kandahar Giant.
Okay, yeah. Explain it away.
Mr. Ballin video.
This does sound interesting to me.
So it's a video. I would recommend the Mr. Ballin video if you could ever find it on YouTube. You will. It's popular. And it's essentially a secret story told by some special forces that said that they encountered a giant up on a special mission. So apparently, a group of special forces soldiers had gone missing. So they were sending in another group to go look for them. And you have to understand this is Kandahar, right? This is Middle East.
Okay.
This is mountains and shit, desert. Yeah. That's all
that
is. Caves.
Tough. Yeah.
Caves. So essentially, I'm gonna sum it up. But they're looking for them, and then they find they get to a point where they look for where they're at their last location, and they see all their gear on the ground. It's like it's rummaged through, and it's almost like a funny trail that's leading up into a cavern that's not on the map. You know, so they're going up, and they realize that they're getting very little communications, and as they're getting up and they're investigating, they realize it's this giant cave that they're heading into, and they're like, oh, what the fuck, like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go in? You know, like, we kind of have to. And from then on, it sounds and turns into like a fantasy story, because what happens is one of the soldiers is killed, and it's like a big spear thrown right through him, and he's just stuck. And what winds up happening is these soldiers get in this confrontation with the giant, and they kill it, right? So they have to, they have to call the U.S. Army, the government. They wind up taking it away, and it's this whole story that is anonymously told. But a part of me is also like, man, we really don't know. We really don't know, because if the military ever did encounter something as crazy as a giant, we will always write it off like some childhood story, like that's just the reality of the way the world works. But Mr. Ballin really does his research. He talks to people. He's also ex-Navy SEAL. He's got a connects in that world. Yeah. And so I don't know, man. It sounds like he talked to one of the guys that did it.
So this. Oh, okay. So I was gonna ask. Yeah. It wasn't him that experienced this.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But again, that just goes to show whatever is out there in this world. I really do think you'd be a fool to think that there isn't a possibility that these creatures could exist. Well, I think these creatures of folklore and myth. I genuinely think that you'd be a fool if you think that they're just completely fake.
Well, I wouldn't say all of them are fake. There's definitely ones that I believe in more. Yeah. And it also goes back to what you were saying. It's like the government wouldn't let you know. Like if the U.S. Army had that, they're not gonna let you know.
But they're also
gonna take it to Area 51.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt you too, but also there's also that question like, do we really want to know? Because the way the world is now, it is so simplified. How complicated would it be if we were told that every creature that we thought was myth and mythological is real, and we live in a world where that exists? How would that affect today's world? Like, that, dude, people would go insane.
Well, I mean, it would really. What would happen is you'd be like, "Why do I need to go to work tomorrow?" You know what I mean? Like, it would.
You think so?
I mean, if you're saying it like the way I think you're saying it.
What do you think? What do you think I'm saying it?
The way you're explaining it to me, at least how I'm interpreting it, is like these things live among us. Mm-hmm. Like they've always been here. They've never not been here.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying is like if you're thinking of it in that way, the way I'm thinking of it is like, well, then what's the point of like going to work tomorrow and doing all these things when something that dangerous is out there that can get you?
But there's also a counter argument to that, right?
Okay.
Well, we've been living. This is again, we're going with this hypothetical scenario, obviously. But I had a really good point, and I just lost it.
Well, okay. What I was gonna say, it's like if there was like, God forbid, there was a fucking nuke that dropped tomorrow. Yeah. You're not gonna go. You're not like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna spend time with the people that I love. I'm gonna do the things that I want to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's more that route, and I think I'm more thinking of it as more the extreme versus I feel like you're actually thinking of it as like, yeah, there's like one or two of these things that exist out there.
No, I'm thinking of like all of these things exist and it's in massive hordes. But I know how you're saying, like, what's the point in going to work and doing these things? Well, up to this point, I guess you could say that we've been ignorant to not knowing because we've had a decent job of containing it. Mm-hmm. Now it's just easier for the whole world to know.
Well, have you ever seen The Mist?
Yes, that's a terrifying movie.
That movie is so good. If you guys have not watched that,
and actually, the original ending, Stephen King didn't write that ending.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he loves that ending. That ending
is a fucking masterpiece. It is so Stephen King. And he didn't even write it. That's what's crazy about it.
He didn't even write it.
The person that made that movie understood his material and what he was working with, and that's what made that good. That's so good. But that's how I would imagine something like that being like, the government's doing these things, and they open a wormhole. At least that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
They open a wormhole to another dimension, and these creatures and beings. And these creatures are not like, they're like these spider. Like there's one part where they're like these spider type things.
Yeah, they're
terrifying.
They're very. That's very Lovecraftian. If you know what that is, it's a type of horror where it's not necessarily. It's very. It plays with your mind a lot more, but it also like has some insane monsters. So like
there was like a squid one, or at least one that had like tentacles.
Yeah, there's he's like the most famous one, Cthulhu. Cthulhu's definitely one of the biggest ones. Yeah, dude, and Lovecraftian horror, you put that in like the same category as like Nope.
Nope was really good, bro.
That is essentially Lovecraftian horror. I've heard Lovecraft Country was really good too. That's on my list. I haven't seen it though.
Did you watch Nope?
I did. I liked it. I really liked it. I really liked it. I feel like people that didn't like it and thought the alien was dumb are simple-minded.
I agree.
That's all I have to say.
To me,
I don't think they're dumb. I just don't think they understand the idea that they don't understand the Lovecraftian horror. And I like it's the concept of having something that you can't comprehend, and it's like that's terrifying.
It was just to me it was literally basically like if we found a lion for the first time. That's how I interpreted it. Like you're like, what the? It's so fast and athletic, and it's doing these things. It's looking at it as food and nutrients. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I viewed it. But obviously, it's an alien, something we've never experienced before, and that's why it was like so bizarre. But it still kept like the alien tropes. Like it was like had a saucer type feel, and I don't know. It was really. I actually really want to rewatch it because it was really.
Nope is really really good. I wanted to show you like some quick so you can understand what Lovecraft horror is. It's very also Stranger Things.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You know.
Very Stranger Things vibes.
So yeah, dude, I love Lovecraftian horror. I think it's super cool. I'd love to see more of it, and I'm glad Jordan Peele tackled it. I think he did a really good job with Nope.
Yeah,
I think it was so good. I loved the Kiki Palmer in that. She was amazing. Yeah, dude, definitely like a 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it was really good. I might give it a 9. It was really fucking good.
I really liked Us. I think I liked Us. Did you like Us?
Yeah, Us was really good.
How would you rate Us? To me, I actually think it's a 10 out of 10, especially for the twist at the end. I love the twist at the end.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, I was jaw dropped. I love Us, and I haven't seen Get Out, so.
I was just about to say Get Out is still my preferred one, because I remember watching that in theaters, and like it was like the first time ever that I've watched. It wasn't the first time I've ever watched a scary movie, but it was the first time I ever watched a scary movie with that type of crowd. Like like in like advertisements when they're like, this is the new scary movie, and it shows like a camera in the audience like that. It was like that, but I was also one of like, oh my god, like it was like this skin crawling type of like just like ugh. You know what I mean? Like there was like people that are like they're just like don't like people would just say word like they would, you know what I mean?
Don't is actually the title of Jordan Peele's next movie. So,
but you know what I mean? Like it would be like
this infamous idiots exclusive.
This person is like so entrenched in the movie that they're like they vocalize what they're thinking.
That is why the movie experience, I think, will never die. That is why you need to experience it. People who can't sit down and watch a film, I don't trust you.
I agree.
I don't trust you. Agree. I just don't. Because even if it's a shitty movie, you can't sit down to watch something to be like to just see at least art. That's what it is at the end of the day. Fuck museums.
Well, you're seeing someone's vision, something that they've handcrafted, they've run out. Like movies don't just get made out of nowhere. It's like
they take
years,
work
and it's production and all this stuff that goes into it.
It's so many people that make it work. It isn't just the director, the writer, it's the cinematographer, it's the sound guy, it's the camera guy, it's the crew that helps make sure everything fucking helps. Like, Like, people don't realize that.
We get it.
I'm just saying.
He just listed off everything.
Yeah, I got more right here.
But I mean, I'm in total agreement. Honestly,
The stunt crew.
I will say
the second executive director.
Okay. I will say Jordan Peele's movies to me have I would feel like they feel like a little events. You know what I mean? I feel like people go see them.
That's when you know like an artist is at work, because that's something that is dying in today's cinema. I think it's the star director. There's very few of them right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's Christopher Nolan. There's you still got to put Martin Scorsese in there. Put some respect on his name, okay? I understand not a lot of people may be a fan of him right now, but he's one of the goats. Respect him.
What's his face? Why am I forgetting?
Quentin Tarantino.
He just canceled his last movie, or I saw something about that. I don't know if it's.
Oh yeah, he decided he decided not to go with the movie critic as his last movie.
Why was that?
Fuck if I know, dude. And I'm not gonna question him if he feels like he doesn't want that to be his last movie. Then I think, who knows? Maybe the movie critic could be a book, because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a book too.
Well, see, some of the things that I saw about it was that people were saying he might be putting too much pressure on himself to come up with this last movie to be this grand master finale piece.
Because it is like no other director has come out and said like, I'm only making this amount of movies and then I'm done. Mm-hmm. So now that you're getting to that point and this dude has put out banger after banger.
Bangers.
You're kind of just like, what's next? But here's the thing though. Just, I understand. Maybe the pressure is self-inflicted, right?
Yes.
I hope he just trusts himself. We do. Do your thing. Whatever it is, we're gonna watch it. It doesn't have to be Kill Bill Volume 3. It doesn't have to be Django Unchained 2. Even though I would love all of those. I don't know.
I would love a Django. I'm not gonna lie. Just because
I know. Now that I said that, I'm like, did you know in the Hateful Eight, Sam Jackson's character was originally supposed to be Django?
Really?
Yeah. But he dies though. I don't want him to die.
That's true. That's a good point. Hateful Eight was actually really
I loved a Hateful Eight.
It was really fucking good.
I loved a Hateful Eight.
See, I watched the director's cut, so it was like 4 hours, and I just sat down, and it was the fastest 4 hours ever.
When you watch good art.
Yes, it was really fucking good. And to go back, I do to me what I'm more worried about. I'm more worried about that it will never come out. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Like, no, it'll come out.
I'm just telling you what my worry is. Here,
okay.
I'm telling you my worry would be like, okay, he's getting, like the movie critic. He's getting to the point. He's figured out who he wants to cast and everything, and then he's like, no. Then he sparks a new idea.
Brad Pitt was gonna be in it.
I know, I saw that, and I'm totally in support of that. But what I'm saying,
I like their collabs.
What I'm saying though is that like I just don't want it to get to a point where he's feeling it, and then he's like. Then he has an inspiration for a new idea. And to me, that just signals, oh, you're not done, bro. You're not done. If you're still having...
You just want him to come.
But see, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, though, is if you're still having these creative ideas to where you're like, this could be a movie. Like, say, this is what I'm saying. Is if he thought Movie Critic could be a movie, and you're just worried about it being your last movie... Make that movie, bro. We can. Oh wait. Give me another movie, bro.
Conspiracy theory. What if he's like, I have unfinished chapters in my in my files. I need to finish Kill Bill, and I need to come out with a second Django, and then I'm gonna do the movie.
Would you want another Kill Bill though? It's been so long.
I would.
Okay.
Because Uma Thurman's daughter is an actress now, and she's pretty good. She's in Stranger Things.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think there's something really cool to be done with someone coming back for revenge, because it can be that never-ending cycle of revenge where no one wins. It can be like how. I think people who like The Last of Us Part 2 can perceive it, where it's like this circle of revenge, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because from my understanding, I think the bride would die, she would die, and then her daughter would get revenge, but thus continuing the circle of like
it's like
revenge.
Looper.
Exactly. And I would love to see that, actually. Yeah. You know, if he decides to do that, I think if Quentin Tarantino can do his spin on it, he could do something really, really awesome. Secondly, I would just love a second Django.
I was gonna say I would just
Django.
To me personally, I would lean just slightly more Django,
or
just because
oh my god, what he could do? What if he did like a prequel, like an in-betweenquel, where it's like a sequel to Django, a sequel to Django, but a prequel to The Hateful Eight. Because after that, Django kind of goes his own way, and then some of the characters from The Hateful Eight go to The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just like doing fan.
I really wouldn't hate that. I really wouldn't hate that.
This is fan fiction at this point.
Yeah, it is. But to me, at this point, I would trust him enough to, if he wanted to do that, which I would be fully.
Like I said, whatever he wants to do, he's made some of the best movies of all time.
The only thing I'm worried about is if he's still having these good ideas, to where he's wanting to scrap this idea to make another one. That's where I'm like, are you done?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like, what's so bad about making 11 movies?
You know what I mean? Look, if the man just wants to do 10, I feel like we just gotta respect it.
I understand it, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
That's all I'm saying.
I do.
And I'd go see his movie no matter what. So
even though what's crazy is, well, he doesn't. Kill Bill's a good action movie, but it's not in my top 5 action movies.
Oh no, I wouldn't put it in my top 5 either.
No, I think it's in my top.
It's a gritty though. Yeah, if we were talking about gritty movies, it might be really high up there.
It's definitely. I think it's. If you said one of the best revenge movies, I wouldn't argue against it.
Yeah,
I would completely be okay with it. Do you have like a top 5 action movies that you?
Yeah. If at number 5, I think it would be Die Hard.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think I'd have to go classic.
Deep cut. That's a deep cut.
I would have to go classic.
Okay.
My boy Bruce Willis, he's going through it right now.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Agree.
But, I mean, dude.
Chris Pratt for John McClane.
This who you cast?
Why not?
I wouldn't cast that. Gotta be another bald guy.
No! Come on! Come on!
No, I would go Die Hard. Die Hard's a fucking instant classic. I remember watching it as a kid and just being like...
Do you consider
How did I never watch this?
Do you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie then.
Is it? Okay.
It takes place during Christmas. I think that matters.
See, the only Die Hard movies that I don't like.
The
one I put on my list is just the first one.
Okay.
I just want to keep that. But it's the second one and the very last one.
Those are the only two that I Die Hard, where he's like with his son.
Yeah, I hate that one. That one's so bad.
Really, you hate it?
Yeah,
I think it's the best one.
But I like the one previous, the one that's like Live Free, Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard.
That shit's a banger, bro. That's a banger.
For no reason.
Yeah, it's so good.
I remember being a kid, I was like, this is a franchise?
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Yeah. I never
Even though it's logically not real.
Yes.
Like John McClane should be dead in a lot of those 100%. Instances. But I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. It's an action movie. Like
one of my favorite parts is when they're in like the tunnel and
the car flips.
Yes, and it flips. Oh my god, bro! I was so obsessed with that as a kid.
I was like, oh my god. My favorite part was when he jumped onto the
elevator.
No, onto the plane.
Oh, the plane. Okay, yeah.
And he was just like, I was just like, that's so cool.
Yeah. That's a good ass movie. I want to watch it.
It is a good movie.
But yeah, that's what I have at number 5.
My number 5 has another bald man.
Transporter.
Yeah, it is Transporter. It is Transporter.
I just fucking
purely for nostalgia's sake, and I do love that. Like I said, he knows it, and you guys will probably know it. That series does hold a special place in my heart. It's like one of the first DVDs I ever owned, so I watched it all the time. Yeah, man, I love me some Jason Statham, man. That's my guy.
I mean, I can't really argue though. See, the thing is when it comes to Transporter, the only one I watched was the third one.
Which I honestly, I think that was like an okay one.
So that's what I feel like, is I feel like I jumped in at the worst. Like, the one that I was exposed to was the worst version of that. And I was like, I think I'm good.
2 is very crazy, too. 2's very crazy. 2's the one where, like, he flips the car upside down and he has a bomb at the bottom of it, and he's somehow able to flip the car back up. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's Fast 6, Fast 7 ridiculous for sure.
So at number 3, I have 300.
3?
All right, number 4, I have 300.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just wouldn't put it in mine just because there's too much CGI in it.
No, there's a lot of CGI. Yeah. But
I didn't. It's a good action movie.
To me, these favorite action movies are just like ones that I remember growing up with, and 300 was a big part of that. Like, I remember when I first watched it, I was like, this is fucking insane. And then I also watched was it Epic Movie where they did that scene in where they parried it?
What scene?
Well, from 300, where he's like kicking the dude.
Oh yeah, it was. It was a big movie.
Classic. That whole era was just awesome. So that's why 300 really stands out to me, and that's why it's number 4.
I have Extraction. Yeah, I have Extraction on there. I'm kind of counting 1 and 2 as one because
I haven't seen it, so I can't really talk shit.
Yeah, I know you haven't.
But I think I'm kind of already not liking his list.
I just think that it's probably one of the best modern action movies because action is filmed so beautifully, and I think that a lot of times action can be sold to the audience in a way to tell a story too. And Chris Hemsworth, I really like him in this role. He's kind of like I feel like he shines here a little better than the Thor movies. I feel like what he is in this is what Thor should be, but with like maybe a little bit more charisma. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think Thor's just gone a little too jokey now.
Oh, I agree with that. I mean, I liked his performance.
That's just me, and also like the fight scenes are very brutal, dude. And this dude he goes through it, and I give him a lot of credit. I think 1 and 2, and plus I like his story is really sad. I like it. He's kind of running from his demons, and yeah, I think it's good. I think you'd like it. I'm basing this off of like camera work and everything. That's how I'm basing my action.
See, it makes me want to watch. You explained it makes me want to watch it more. I just haven't gotten around to it. I know I don't know. Sometimes when movies go straight to Netflix,
I get it.
It's kind of like how.
But you really liked the Adam Project.
Yeah, I did. But what I'm saying though is that like sometimes when things go to like are on streaming, it can kind of feel like straight to DVD in a way, and that's what that movie gave me a vibe of.
I mean, I get it. It surprised the hell out of me though, so I'll say that because that's the vibe I got from it too. I was like, I'll give it a shot because it's Chris Hemsworth, and if it's just bad, then I'll just enjoy. Do my best to enjoy a bad movie. What's your number 3?
At number 3, I have Bad Boys 2.
Really?
Bad Boys 2 was. Oh, I hope.
I mean, okay, yeah.
Bro, when I watched this as a kid, this movie was so
amazing.
Cool. Dude, you know how many times the freeway scene? I would just
Rewind.
replay it. I just replay that, and it was just watching the whole car sequence and everything. I was like, "This is fucking so dope." I was like, "How many cars did they fucking throw from?"
A lot.
Yeah, I know.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
I don't know how they were just completely okay with that.
Yeah,
like,
it was awesome, and I hold that movie in high regard, and mainly for just the pure action that is constantly happening within the movie. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies. I mean, action movies in general, I should say. It's not like you're going there for the greatest story of all time. To me, it was just like I said, as a kid, I was like, holy fuck. Like, it was like the first time that I realized that, like, they're doing real shit.
And it's funny.
It is funny.
It's funny. And yeah, no, I get it. I can't argue against your list. Your list is a pretty good list. My number 3 is John Wick.
It's a good one. I actually didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, John Wick, especially that first one to me, is so perfect. And they kind of get a little ridiculous, but it's fine. I still love those other John Wick movies. But that first one had a level of like grit, but also like the way they just the lore of who John Wick was and little glimpses is so good. The music, the soundtrack, everything just hits on every level. It checks every box for me, in all honesty. What's your number 3, man?
I have Terminator 2.
Oh, wow.
I had to put a classic on there.
You're putting a lot of classics on there.
I had to put a classic.
I feel bad for not putting a classic on mine, dude, because there's now... I would consider Transporter.
Because to me, like, most of my action... my favorite action movies from this point back... They were all movies I grew up with. Like, I just grew up and I was like, there were movies that I would put on and I put my action figures in the back, come up with my own scenario of the movie, my alternate endings.
You're like, no, this is what I would do.
Yeah, this is what I would do. This is the camera work.
And it was always better.
Yeah, it was always better.
Yeah.
But, I would always do that. And T2 was like one of those few action movies where I'm also like, damn, I'm good, bro.
Yeah,
you know
dude.
What I mean?
You don't even have to explain that one. That is like probably one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. So
I don't think anyone argues that. It's like I think it's the best sequel of all time.
Dude, I can't argue against any of your list. Your list is really, really good. I don't think you've seen my number 2 though.
I don't think
it's on Netflix. It's called The Night Comes for Us.
Who's in it?
One of the dudes from the Raid. He's in it.
Okay, him in the Raid.
Yeah.
You already know follows their career.
You already know.
I was gonna say, I think I know what for number one is.
Absolutely. But dude, The Night Comes for Us is such a dope, brutal story. I'll just quickly. It's just about a guy who, essentially, drug enforcers. Every drug cartel in whatever part of Asia, in Indonesia that they're in, they have their own SEAL Team 6.
Okay.
They do that, to handle their business. But one day, they literally wipe out an entire fucking village. It looks like, and one of the guys couldn't kill this little girl. He winds up killing all of them. So now all of those crime syndicates are gunning it out for him. So that's why it's called A Night Comes For Us. It takes place over one night. And dude, it's one of the most brutal movies I've ever fucking seen. It's so. It honestly probably has the best female action sequence of all time.
Really?
I absolutely think there's this. Yeah, dude. There's a scene where someone has one of those wires that can cut through people, and choke people.
Yeah.
And her finger gets cut off and it's hanging, and then she just rips it off herself. Dude, this movie goes hard. I am telling you, dude.
Okay.
It's exactly what you would want from a adrenaline fueled action flick, dude.
Well, there's definitely two movies I'm gonna need to check out on your list for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Extraction and The Night Comes for Us.
Yeah, I dude, that movie. And plus, it is in another language, but English. No, hold on. You can put it on English. It's on Netflix. There's an English dub.
Oh, I checked out.
Yeah, there's an English dub.
Okay.
And then, what's your number 2?
No, number 2 is T2.
That's your number 2?
Yeah.
What was your number 3? Did you read your number 3?
Yes, I did. Okay, so I'll just go off because we're gonna go to number 1. It was Die Hard, 300, Bad Boys 2, Terminator 2, and then number 1 is Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay.
Mad Max is just fucking relentless. It just never slows down, and just it's always going. It's always redlining. They're fucking in 5th gear going the whole way. And I watched Mad Max after I watched Fury Road. I rewatched Mad Max, and just the production. And this movie came out 10 years earlier than Furiosa, and there's just a certain level of quality that you get with Fury Road that
you just don't get with Furiosa.
You just don't get with Furiosa. You just don't. The way
it's called a Mad Max movie.
It is. It is a Mad Max movie. And just they do so much.
I liked Furiosa.
Yeah, I don't want to shit on Furiosa.
Yeah.
Furiosa was really good.
Yeah.
But there's just a certain extra to it. That's just everything looks. A lot more is done practically. First of all, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But it's just man, that movie just hits for me, and it just. My favorite part is when Tom Hardy's on the fucking swinging shit in the car.
Oh my god!
Blowing up and it's flipping.
That was terrifying.
And they did that shit for real. I got mad respect for that shit, bro. So it goes hard on my list.
Yeah, dude, I get it. Absolutely. That's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, it's definitely it's in my top 5. I'll say that.
Yeah, dude. Man, I feel bad for not even putting that on my list. Because that is a fucking classic.
Yeah,
it
was an instant classic.
You had a lot. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you had a lot of good picks too. I liked a lot of all of those picks. I would have picked on any other given day, dude. To be honest. But I was kind of basing my top 5 in terms of camera work, choreography, shit like that. But obviously, you already know what number 1 is for me. It's The Raid 2. It's another Indonesian action flick. You could probably find it dubbed somewhere, but guys, I'm telling you, this movie is what action should be. I don't know. It's all of it. I'm glad now it's changing. America has realized that we want to see the action in the movie and not shake the camera everywhere.
God. Yeah, seriously.
So I think that's why Extraction is on my list, because I'm the action is choreographed well. And it helps when stuntmen are directors because they know what to do and what to look for, how to film a shot. What stunts work better than others, Yeah. So, man, I don't know, man. I'm glad we're finally leaving the fucking Born Identity stage and the Taken stage of shaky cam, epileptic fucking camera work because, dude, it ruins the movie.
Yes, 100%.
It ruins the movie. I get dizzy. I can't, I don't know what's going on. I'll never forget when a buddy of mine, you remember we went to go see Snake Eyes?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we went to go see Snake Eyes, and on the first action sequence, within like the first 40 seconds, a buddy of mine comes up next to me, he's like, I'm getting dizzy. And he was like, I can't look at this because I'm gonna throw up.
That movie was awful.
Yeah, man, you waste good casting of Andrew Koji, and then you just do that. You make me root for Storm Shadow. I root for the bad guys. I don't even root for Snake Eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, what? He's the asshole in the story.
Yeah.
And he talks. He's not supposed to talk. He's supposed to be like Black Noir. Black, silent, and deadly. Not black, but you know what I mean. Black suit. Sorry, I'm not Ryan Garcia or anything. Yeah. We don't condone racism. We condone playful racism.
Playful racism.
Yeah, just playful racism.
You just let those intrusive thoughts really just flow out.
Me?
Yeah. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I shock myself. But I feel like that's a pretty good way to end it.
Pretty good way to end it.
All right, man. You have anything you want to
No, I got nothing else to say. If you guys are new here, remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Deuces. Hasta luego.
We post podcasts every Saturday.
Oh, that too.
And videos weekly.
And
if
videos
he remembers
weekly.
to post it.
If...
All right, we need to go to bed. Peace.